Time for some 8-1 for your home. Join with us now. We have Danny Green, who's the owner and vice president over at Solarshield Metal Roofing. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Morgan.
Yes. Okay, so Danny, I know you and your brother have been at this. Your parents actually started this business way back.
Yeah, my mother and father, Dan and Sue Green, started the business back in 1978, and we've been doing windows and siding and roofing for 47 years.
Yeah, tell me about the types of roofs that you specialize in.
We specialize in both metal and asphalt roof. That's about 98% of the market for residential roofs, so about 80% of it's asphalt, about 18% of it's metal. The metal products have really gained in popularity.
Yeah.
You know, in the mid-90s, metal was probably 2%, now to 18%, so 900% gain, 9x on the return on that. So that's the fastest growing roofing product in the country.
And what sets metal apart? Like, what do you think the allure kind of comes from?
Probably a couple things, longevity. The right metal roof can last 40 to 70 years, depending on the quality of the metal and the quality of the paints. The typical asphalt roof today we'll see 20 to 25 years out of. So longevity is a difference. And probably another one, energy efficiency. Asphalt roofs are really a sponge for the sun solar radiation. So in the summertime, you have that whole house absorbing all the heat, which passes into the attic, which passes into the house. That increases cooling costs. Versus metal, about 80% of the sun's heat can be reflected. And the testing done that I've seen, the surface temperatures can be up to 100 degrees difference, metal versus asphalt. So major difference. And
we're looking at some before and after here, some photos. When you've got a beautiful new roof, it makes all the difference on your home.
Well, a lot of roofs, depending on the steeper they get, a lot of the curb appeal could be 50 to 60% from the roof. So the higher end products, it looks like shingle, shake, and slate. They give you these beautiful horizontal shadow lines, give you some architecture. It's a really beautiful curb appeal.
And that's metal? That's metal. It looks,
yeah. That's a metal roof that looks like, that was meant to look like a split cedar shake. So it gives you those beautiful lines and gives you some architecture.
You really can't tell the difference. So how do you know when it's time? It's one of those big investments people probably push off.
That's a great question. Probably the number one thing is age. Most experts would agree typical roof lasts 20 to 25 years. So once you get to that 20-year time frame, you're probably close to the end of the life. And probably a good tip is to keep an eye on the neighbor's roof. So if you're in a neighborhood where all the homes were built at the same time, if you see 3 or 4 of your neighbors replacing roofs, that's a good sign that it's probably time, because most roofing products have a similar lifespan.
And then, so if people are like, okay, it's time, they give you guys a call, where do they go from there? You come out and do an assessment, or do they choose what look they want?
Yes, so we offer 2 services. So the typical way is to send a roofing expert into the home. We do an external roofing analysis, and actually, if we have access, to get up into the attic space to really check for ventilation and make sure the house is right for a metal product. Or for people that don't want somebody coming into their home, especially this time of year, it's flu season, you might have young kids, whatever. We do offer a virtual service where we set up a Zoom meeting, send you a link, one click, you pull right into the expert, and we do a satellite measurement, so we have all the measurements, and we can really give you an accurate quote that's good for up to 1 full year. So no pressure, and at least you'll know, when the time comes, what the cost will be.
Yeah, and what is the timeline, I guess? How long does it take the project to typically, go from start to finish?
Yeah, so from the time they meet with the expert till it's done, we like to keep it in a 6 to 8 week time frame. Now, it does get busier, and that can extend to 10 weeks sometimes, but we try to keep it in that so that it's the turnover is pretty quick, and we get them done in a
As far as the installation, it can take a...
Installation with asphalt roofs, they're usually, like an average roof, 1 to 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And most of the metal roofs can be the same. The high-end metal roofs are a little different. They can be 3 or 4 times as long because of you need an expert, installer, and the metal is a little harder to deal with. So it takes a little bit longer, but you do get a lot of longevity out of those products, too.
I love, too, that you guys are local. You're right here, right in the heart of Altoona.
Yeah.
And, you've got a great product. It looks amazing. And if people, they're watching this, they're like, hey, maybe it's time. They want to give you guys a call. What's the best way to reach out?
You can call us at 814-944-7878. There's tons of information on our website, SolarsshieldInc.com. Check us out on our Facebook page. There's lots of ways to reach us, but phone calls and probably the website's the best.
And what's your reach as far as where you can go?
We cover about a 100-mile radius. We're all of central and western Pennsylvania, so down to the Maryland border, up to New York, east to Harrisburg, and we cover the whole eastern edge of Pittsburgh.
That's awesome. Good stuff. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Danny.